Hello. It's really, really yellow. I don't know what to do. Hopefully the audio is working well because I don't know how to fix the color. We're going to have a really discolored video today. So today I want to talk about anxiety in people who have autism and how it can kind of maybe look a little bit different, and specifically with children and teenagers. I know I had a really hard time when I was younger realizing that what I was actually suffering from was anxiety because of, what we're going to talk about right now. Okay, so autistic children feel many of the same worries and fears as other children. Yeah, definitely true. But autistic children might also worry or feel stressed about things that are less worrying for typically developing children. Yeah, so I know I used to stress out about a lot of things that were like really irrelevant, or that, so like an example, I wish that my school growing up had a dress code. It was so overwhelming to pick out clothes every single morning. Because I don't really know why, but little things like that really overwhelmed me. Or like packing my lunch, just because I think there was just so many options. It was just so overwhelming. All right, so that's a little bit about anxiety. And again, this stuff relates to everybody on the spectrum for anxiety, but I'm really trying to talk specifically about children and teenagers and how to recognize and ways to cope. All right, so let's see. About anxiety, small disruptions to their routine or new sensations they feel in their body. So I know, like, when I was growing up and I felt an overwhelming emotion that was new, I didn't understand how to process it, and trying to verbalize what was going on, it was very hard for me. And until I was in therapy, I really didn't understand why I would just have these outbursts, or my body is getting hot or cold or sweaty. I had a really hard time with that. And I didn't know that it was related to being autistic and not knowing how to deal with it. Unfamiliar or unpredictable social situations. Yeah, definitely. Definitely as an adult. I enjoy people, but I get so worried when I don't really know what to talk about in a social group. That's why I really like knowing what's going on. If it's like an activity, or I call it just like free range time, I really don't want to participate if that's what it is. I get myself verbally in trouble, I feel like, because I really don't know what is or isn't appropriate to talk about. I guess it bothers some people. I'm working on it. All right, next one. Situations where it's hard to know what other people are feeling. I have a hard time recognizing what other people are feeling. It's really hard for me. That's why I ask a lot. Are you okay? I don't know. I ask people how they're doing, and a lot of people actually don't tell the truth. I'm also starting to realize that that's just a trait that neurotypical people have. They really mask a lot, just like neurodiverse individuals do. All right. Their own thoughts and feelings, especially unfamiliar or unpleasant physical symptoms that are related to worried thoughts or feelings. So, I don't know. My mind can, I have ADD as well as autism, and I always had learning disabilities. I was always in special ed growing up, which was really hard because I tried to outgrow my learning disabilities, which never really happened. And instead of having parents that were supportive, they're like, well, maybe if you practice harder, next year you don't have to be in special ed, versus really sitting down with me and embracing why I needed my IEP. And I really think that would have helped with my self-esteem. And I would have not had a lot of anxiety, I feel like. All right, 2. Signs of anxiety. For example, your child might insist even more on routine and sameness. So say like the routine is say they have a routine, but it's not like consistent. If your child's like asking you to be, or like setting timers, it means like they need more structure. And I know that I was like this. I don't like running late. I want to be early. I want to know that there's a set schedule and a set routine. I just don't really like going with the flow. It gives me anxiety. It really does. All right, done. Have more trouble sleeping. Most people have more trouble sleeping if they have problems in the day. Just, your sleep habits aren't very good. Mine are never really that good, but I like being awake. Okay, have more trouble sleeping, have meltdowns or emotional outbursts. Yep. And I think this is because they just get overwhelmed with their emotions. I know I do. It just gets bottled up, and I just, take the next day, and eventually I'm going to explode. And it sucks for whoever is on the receiving end of that. I usually do try to always apologize, and I'm more aware of it, and through therapy I'm realizing my triggers. But prior to my autism diagnosis, I would just bottle up and then explode. I just thought that was normal. I felt that it was strange, but I just thought that was normal. Okay. Rely more on obsession and rituals. Again, I feel like that kind of just goes with the routine, obsessions and stuff like that. Anxiety is a natural part of life, and anxiety is a natural part of life and something that everybody experiences. So everybody does experience anxiety, and just because not everybody talks about it or wants to admit it or acknowledge it, or maybe they don't even recognize that that's what they're having, but it's natural. It's natural to feel anxious. If you don't feel anxious, again, I don't think you're learning or you're progressing in life, because you need to have these emotions to help others and to understand yourself. Let's see what's on this other side if I put anything. Oh yeah, it's full. Just got done with that one. Now we're going to the back. All right. Anxiety triggers. How to identify them. Let's see what I have. Finding out what makes your autistic child anxious is a good first step in reducing your child's anxiety and helping them to manage it. Some of the common triggers for anxiety include changes in routine. For example, these are just made up. Not going to a weekly piano lesson because the teacher is sick. I can totally relate to that. Why is someone else canceled? We had an appointment. They should just take some medicine. They have, that flu stuff that teacher invented. Just take one. Put it in your water. Piano lesson. Got to do that. Yeah, changes in routine, especially if I'm the one that's not changing the routine. But I get it. Especially like getting older, you'll understand. Change in environment. For example, a new house, new play equipment at a local park, or furniture in a different place at home. I like to rearrange things, but if I didn't do it and someone didn't ask if it's okay, not that it wouldn't be okay, but I just need to know, don't touch my things without me knowing it. It's overwhelming. I totally understand that. If I was a little kid and I had a favorite park or a favorite, play equipment, and then it was just changed one day, definitely would have a meltdown. All right. Unfamiliar social situations. For example, a birthday party at an unfamiliar place. Yeah, because you can't control your environment again. Noises, sounds, lights. Depending on, autism is a spectrum. And depending on where you are at on that spectrum, places can be really overwhelming. I know when I go out places, I get very overwhelmed, especially during the holidays. All right. I'm trying to hurry up before my roommate ran to the dollar store to get some candy. So I'm trying to do this video in between. Sensory sensitivity. For example, sensitivities to particular noises, bright lights, specific flavors, or foods. I would rather starve before I eat something that tasted funny, the texture's weird. I don't know. I'm a picky eater. Fear of particular situations, activities, or objects. For example, sleeping in their own bed. Fear of place/person. So if I know I'm going somewhere and I am not looking forward to that experience, it physically can make me sick because I'm just dwelling on it. I'm trying so hard to get over this. I'm working on that right now. My appetite is just gone because I'm really trying to work through some things with my therapist. See, my words are getting all jumbled up because I'm trying to be the bigger person, and it's really hard sometimes. All right. Times of transition. For example, moving into a new home or into a new school, transitioning into a new school year, or the start of puberty. Okay, so both of those were big for me. Puberty was a huge thing. I'm going to admit this, and it comes naturally, I guess, to a lot of people, not me. I did not understand what was going on with my body during puberty. It was really scary. And I guess I didn't know that when your body is a personal thing. Maybe that, I don't know why, but I didn't know that, and it was never taught to me. And when I was going through puberty, your body changes, and instead of being told what was going on, I was more scared because these things are happening to me and I didn't know why. All right, 4, last things. Ways to help. Your child might need to learn what anxiety feels like in their body. Definitely. And unfortunately, everybody has to learn this on their own. It's great to have support. So let's see, ways to help. So these are ways to help recognize if your child is having these and you see that maybe they're about to they're having anxiety. Okay, they get strange feelings in their stomach. I definitely know that if something's going on, I feel sick to my stomach. Okay, they flap their hands. I don't do that, but I do know, actually I'll go like this and I'm really stressed, or I don't know, I just hold my hands really weird when I'm stressed out. My roommate was just pointing that out today. Their heart beats faster, definitely increased heart rate, because you get nervous, anxiety. Their palms get sweaty. Oh yeah, I'll sweat when I'm nervous, big time. I'll talk fast and I forget what I'm thinking. I made it all the way through. All right, and we're at 12 minutes. Well, I hope you liked this video. I will see you guys later.